Gotta get my microphone. Hello. My stuff is sized a little bit strange today. If you can hear me, maybe just let me know. Sounds like coho salmon has some stuff in here. A fish would never get caught if it kept its mouth shut. Like, subscribe, watch another video. Thank you. You're saying the things with the like, subscribe that I forget. Hey, yes, Ra? Sorry, I'm on a small screen, so I have to really look in. Okay, thanks. You can hear me. I don't know what the heck I did with my screen here. It's kind of cut off. So that's a little bit annoying. I was working on something different for today. And then I came to start, and then at the last minute, I realized I didn't put it into OBS the way that I would need to get it put into OBS. So I was working on that, and it didn't quite work out, but I think we can still go over it. I don't know. First, you guys want to talk about discipline and rules at all? Or do you want to see maybe the trade that I took today? Maybe I'll start with my trade because it was a bit frustrating. It wasn't terrible. So just go over to my chart here. Okay, so this is the New York Open, so that's my 1 minute opening range. We sold off, and this right here would have been my A short, but I didn't take it because I had this zone mapped out as somewhere that I would want to be looking to get into longs. So I didn't take that A short. I wanted to get 2 failed A shorts so that I could catch the reversal trade, but we only got the 1 failed short here, and then it fully reversed. So I was unable to get that. I contemplated, because it came down, and I might do this differently in the future, but because it came down to this area, it found support right away and then started reversing. In the future, I might just look to get in the long right here. And I think that also aligned on the 5 minute chart with like a 3-bar reversal. So it would have been a nice entry. I didn't take that. Instead, I was waiting for my A long to set up. And if you're wondering what the heck is going on up here, can you even see this? I don't know. Okay, you can see it on there. Sorry, I messed with my settings in OBS, and now I'm like, everything's kind of all over the place. Okay, so I think this is I made a couple mistakes today, but the big one was not taking this. So this was my A long setup here. This is the opening 1 minute range high. So I like getting in just above the opening range high. So it would have been a nice entry. I didn't take it because it didn't quite come to the MA. It came within 4 points of the MA, and in the moment I just kind of like froze and thought, I'll wait for the next one to set up, or I'll wait for a reversal, which I'm not supposed to do. When there's this much momentum, I'm supposed to just take the first one, even if it is like, 5 to 10 points from the MA. So had I taken this one, I would have had a 40-point profit target and it would have won. I didn't. Instead, I waited for this one. It came and touched the MA, but I didn't like the signal candle as much, took it anyways. What happened here, so I have my bracket order set to come on just with a 15-point stop, 15-point profit target. I'm going to change that, but it took my stop buy. And as soon as I had moved, because I moved my stop first before my profit target, I moved my stop, and in the time that it took me to do that, which was like seconds, it hit where my profit target automatically goes and took me out for 15 points. So I made 15 points on it. I thought about getting back in, but then I just decided not to. I was like, that's the trade. That's what happens sometimes. So I left it. That was my day. This one would have lost. The target was about 5 points higher. So definitely this would have been the better one to take than the one that I did. And then for the reversals, I mean, I didn't really look at the price action much today after that because I didn't want to feel like I kind of missed my trade so I could take another one. Like, I just didn't want to break the one trade rule, even though I kind of messed up on my first trade. All right, so how did you guys do on discipline today? Hey, Ryan, uh-oh, you were bad. Had some minor tilt, overtraded, clawed my way back to break even. Nice, twice. Uh-oh, that means you made it to break even once and then kept trading. But at least you got out the second time. Shut it down, but I'm disappointed in my performance. Yeah, I understand that. It sucks when you go off plan and you break the rules. So I guess, obviously, just come back tomorrow with more of a focus on the rules and not doing the same thing. I know for me, it feels like once I break a rule or I have a few days of breaking rules, then it's harder to get back into the groove of not doing that. Hey, Mike, no trades today. I didn't see any good setups due to the mess from yesterday. Fair enough. Hey, Chris, you followed your rules. Nice. You're the 10% guy. Yep. Small cap, placed a bid on my, missed it. Okay. So you missed the trade, but you followed your rules by not jumping in again. That's what I'm going to take from that. Yeah, this is the MNQ chart, so the micro NASDAQ. Oh, hey. Ty Crane, I should have listened to you when I took a little bit of money on my payout and you said you should put $250 of that on the Blue Jays to win the World Series. I read that to my husband and we were like, ooh, should we? We didn't. And now, just like yesterday, my husband's like, hey, you should have listened to that guy and put money on the Jays. So thanks for the tip that I didn't take. 11-hour life. Nice. You held for 12 points. You're supposed to hold for 20. Well, yeah, it's 20. Okay. Impulse to take it off early, still getting in the way. Okay. I understand that. I had a huge problem with that. What if you didn't watch the trades? I'm sure like in the comments, I've probably said this before to you, but what if you just put the trade on, set your stop, set your TP, and then closed it, walked away? I don't know. Or go to another room, go and do something else, right? Like go and whatever other chores you need to do or other things to work on, go and do that for 20 minutes and then come back. I don't know. Maybe that might work a little bit better for you. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to catch up with the chat, but also, okay, 11-hour life. Yes, I need to do that again. Okay, so try that tomorrow. I'm not live streaming tomorrow, but I'll be back on Monday live streaming. So do that tomorrow and then try it again on Monday, just walking away and not watching it. Zora Trader, today was a fun day on NQ, overtraded a bit, but a little tough to call it a day when you get multiple back-to-back trades. I mean, I think it's okay if you overtraded, but you were on plan for all your trades. So like if you took, I don't know, I think overtrading is pretty subjective and different for most of us. Like for me, I in the past could have taken like 50 trades a day. Now overtrading would be 4 trades a day for me, or even 3. But if you overtraded and you were actually still following your system and taking valid setups, then I think that's different than like jumping into revenge trades or taking setups that aren't your setups. Ty Crane. I've kind of just want to like call you Ty, but do most traders scalp? You know what? I'm not sure. I don't even know the definition of scalping. Like, is scalping anything where we're like, is a swing trade only something where you're holding for like a certain amount of points, or is it you're holding for a certain amount of time? I don't know. Like, my average target is 30 points. I don't really consider that scalping, but I think it might be scalping. So I'm not sure. To me, like, I feel like scalping is like 10 points and less, but I'm sure that's not the actual definition of it. I don't know. Set a target, then quit when the target is hit. Well, yeah. Yes, Ra. I think like what she's saying is like she's bailing on the winning trade before it gets to the target. So that's why I'm saying don't watch it at all. Chris, I'm missing that trade. I think I'll make a new rule when in signal use market order as long as the spread is small. Yeah, you know what? That's one that I have a hard time with as well. Because sometimes like on the 1 minute chart, it's moving too fast for me to get my stop buy or stop sell in time. And sometimes I miss the trade and then I'm always just kind of like, do I mark it in right now or do I just let it go and wait for another setup? So yeah, I think it's smart to set some rules around that for yourself. Hey, Mikhail. I was late today too. I was setting something up because I have something that I always forget in here to talk about the stuff that I want to talk about. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll actually like have some notes for this one to put on the screen for other people. And then I had that all done up, but I didn't get it into OBS, like the software I use to stream. So yeah, I was like 15 minutes late today as well. Yeah, I'm not sure. What do you guys consider scalping? Is it like a time-based thing? Is it like if your trades are under an hour or under 30 minutes or something? Or is it like under so many points it's considered scalping? I don't know. Okay, so Aki says scalping is up to 30 minutes. I scalp plus hold for up to 3 hours until delta is 0.8. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I ever hold anything for 3 hours. Like everything of mine is pretty much under 30 minutes. Okay. Oh, hey, Orlando had the best day today in many months. And it was on funded accounts. Nice. That's awesome. Good job. That's great. I hope you were following your plan and had that great day. And, you know, that's really good. Good job. I'm glad you made actual money on real accounts with it too. Hoover Flag Trader also had a good day. Nice. Okay, now you're saying a scalper is 6 ticks? A scalper's point is 6 ticks? I don't understand. Are you saying like that a scalp is only 6 ticks? Like that people would, I mean, I know that algos do it, but I didn't really realize that people would try to get like 6 ticks manually, but I mean, I guess you could. Time doesn't really exist anyway. Yeah, right. I wish. Scalping is chasing your trade? Okay. Uh-oh. Oh no, echoes of grace here. Want to talk about a degen trader. I have blown up 10 evals with a 90% win rate. Every time I get close to passing, it seems like I self-sabotage my account. It's always with one trade. Ugh. So it sounds like what you're saying is you're getting close to passing and then you put on one trade like with larger size or something just to get you across the finish line and then you kind of blow up. That's how I'm reading it. Okay. I'm trying to think of like what advice to give you on this, like what to tell you for blowing up 10 evals. Okay. First of all, blowing up 10 evals is not bad. If it was 10 evals in one day, then yeah, I'd be like, okay, that's for sure degen behavior. If it's been just you blow up 10 evals overall, then I think that's not bad at all. And I think probably all of us have blown up 10 evals. But yeah, so it seems like your problem is when you're getting close to passing. Could you, like, instead of sizing up when you're getting close to passing, maybe you could size down when you're getting close to passing and maybe take the P&L off your chart if you haven't already so that you're not, because like I found when I'm close to passing before, I would have the P&L on, I'd know exactly how much I needed and I wouldn't wait for a good setup. I'd just jump into anything thinking like, oh, I only need 7 points and then I'd end up failing. Oh, okay. Echoes of Grace. I keep removing my stop when I get close to passing. Never a problem until I get close. I mean, the obvious thing to say is like, don't touch your stop. What if you do my thing of not watching your trades specifically when you're close to passing so that you can't go in there and interfere and take your stop off? So like my rule is I put the trade on, I set my stop, I set my profit target, and then I turn the platform off and check it an hour or more later. Now I'm trying to wait until like the end of the day when I come on the live stream to check and see if it won. Obviously that didn't work out today because I couldn't even move my target in time. But what if you tried to do that? Like just when you know you're getting kind of in that danger zone of close to passing, if you step back, maybe size down a little bit too, and then stop watching the trades. Because if your problem is just that you're close to passing and then you start interfering and taking your stops out and then losing the accounts, then yeah, like to me, the obvious solution is don't watch them. Or just your main rule is that you don't touch that stop. Okay, so Ryan's saying scalping versus swing depends on who you talk to. I think so, but generally scalping in most entries and exits in the same day. Okay, and swing is holding overnight. Sorry, I can't talk today. Okay, yeah, I think that's probably a good broad definition of it for us to go by. I like Orlando's comment there. So it was obviously some other behavior of why she called you a effing degenerate. And then you're like, oh, it actually applies to my trading too. That's funny. Okay, so I am going to talk about for a second here, in case you guys missed it, on my trade this morning, I didn't take the A-long that I should have taken first. That would have won 40 points. Instead, I waited for this one. I got a long here. It moved too fast. I could not get my profit target moved up in time. So I just made 15 points on it, and that was it for me for the day. So kind of sucks that I waited. Like I've been waiting for better price action, and then the market's moving, and then it's like, oh, just kidding. It's moving too fast for me. I can't move my stuff in time. Echoes of Grace, I'll try that. I gotta just do something different for sure. That's really like the first, yeah, accept that you need to change something and then figure out what the different thing is that you can try, and then try it and see how that goes. And if that goes, then you have something that works for you, because it's not just you're not just gonna have these issues when you're close to passing your eval. You're going to have these same issues when you get close to the buffer, when you get close to a payout, after you take a payout, when you start adding on more accounts. Like you're going to keep coming into this same kind of problem. So figure it out now. Try what I said with not even watching it. Close the platform down. Try it, figure it out now before you start paying to have those evals activated. Okay, David, any thoughts how to accept a loss for the day prior to it hitting a daily loss limit? I know I'm not doing well, so should just stop for the day, but I keep trying to make up a small loss. Any ideas? Okay, so you're saying you want to be able to have small red days instead of full daily loss limit days. I think the obvious thing would be to lower your daily loss limit. Like if you want to have smaller losing days, like so if you have your loss limit right now set at $500 for the day, you could try just bringing it down to $250 to ensure that you stick to that. Or look at it as more of like an experiment and a discipline challenge to practice taking small red days. Like be intentional about, if I have a few losses, I'm going to walk away with a small red day instead of trying to make it back or hitting the full daily loss limit. So those are my thoughts. If anyone else has any thoughts on this, how to accept a loss for the day prior to it hitting a daily loss limit. So just accepting losses. I suck at accepting losses. That's why I'm on one trade a day and not watching my trades, because yeah, I just have a really hard time with revenge trading and jumping back in after a loss. So I totally get where you're coming from. But yeah, if you can just make those losing days smaller, that in itself will go a long way for you. Echoes of Grace, a sore loser, I guess. Yeah, I think most of us are sore losers, and maybe everyone's a sore loser and it doesn't really come out because as adults we're not doing things all the time where we're, constantly, it's just like this win or lose situation. So maybe we're all sore losers and it just really kind of gets thrown in our face when we take up trading. So I'm going to talk for a second about what I wanted to bring up today, which was a comment. Sorry, now I get distracted by the chat again because I'm like, what's he saying about the taking the losses? So Hoover Flag Trader saying, I divide my loss limit into the sessions I'm going to trade. So if I'm trading 2 sessions, I divide $400 in half. Okay, that's smart. All right, I like that. If you guys, again, have more suggestions on having smaller red days and being able to just accept a loss, then put it in the chat. Okay, so about yesterday, and now this is the thing I was struggling with getting working. Sorry guys, my chart is set on not showing what's actually happening in the market. Oh, it looks like it's back down into my little area to buy zone from earlier, but it's the end of the day, so my zones are marked out for the early price action. So definitely don't anyone look at this and think, oh, I should take a long there, unless it's your plan to take a long there. Okay. All right, well, let me see here. Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about today. It was a comment on yesterday's live stream. Okay, so here's the comment. Oh my God, did it cut it off? I think I'm gonna have to take like a 5-second break or like a minute-long break and see if I can mess with the settings in OBS to get my screen back. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys I'll put on the circle of humiliation here for a second. I call it the circle of shame, but whatever works for you. I'm gonna put that on for just a second if I can find it. And I'm gonna see if I can get this screen fixed because it's annoying that it's cutting stuff off. Okay, I'll be right back in like 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, it seems like I can't, oh, now I'm gone? What the heck? Okay, now I'm back. Ugh. Technology, it's great, and then it's not. Okay, so I'll just read this comment without that. So, okay, so he put this on yesterday's live stream replay. Imagine the cognitive dissonance a person must have to know that 95 to 97% of people who begin to trade lose money, will never become profitable, and eventually quit, yet they try anyway. The markets are rigged and corrupt. They're designed to take your money like a casino. Market makers, dealers, institutions, all corrupt. They know where the orders are, what the direction and flow is, and when and where it is going to change, and get news before the public release. The smartest thing for 95 to 97% of people who begin to trade would be to take the money you are going to put in an account, take a match to it and light it on fire and keep yourself warm for a few minutes. You really will get more value doing that than trading. Okay. So I read this and I thought, like, I spelled valid wrong on the circle of shame? Well, it's staying how it is. But thanks for telling me. Maybe one day when I have time, I'll fix it. Okay, so this comment, first of all, I read it to my husband because I'm like, this a-hole. But also, I do get where he's coming from. But I read it to him and he's like, what's cognitive dissonance? So I was like, okay, I will also put up, where the heck is this? Okay, so let me just, okay. So cognitive dissonance, sorry if you guys are like, we're not interested in this at all, is the psychological discomfort experienced when a person holds two or more conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes, or when their actions contradict their beliefs. To reduce this mental tension, people are motivated to change their attitudes, beliefs, or behaviors to achieve consistency or by justifying their actions. So the example they gave was, you might believe that smoking is harmful, but continue to smoke, which creates cognitive dissonance. Or the actions one, you might consider yourself an animal lover, but still eat meat, causing a conflict between your actions and your beliefs. Okay, yeah. Salmon, that message is from a sore loser. Right, but I think that we all kind of like, we all hear this at some point. Like if we tell people we're trading, or like, I mean, I guess I hear it because I'm on YouTube, so, you know, fair game or whatever. So, but like, to me, I think, but like, I looked at that and then I'm like, so, like, what would that mean then? Like, it's cognitive dissonance to ever try and do something that's difficult, right? Like anything with it's cognitive dissonance to try and do something where the odds are against you. Like, you should only ever do things in life where the odds are in your favor. Like, I understand that a lot of traders fail and they lose a lot of money. But to me, this doesn't seem like a really good argument as to why we shouldn't trade. Yesterday, we were talking about, someone said something about like making money on YouTube being easier than making money trading. So I don't know if these stats are 100%, but I found this chart. I also looked up because I'm like, I won't do it just for like the YouTube thing, but I was like, if it's cognitive dissonance to do something that the odds are really low, I was like, what are your chances of getting into the NBA? It said the percentage of high school basketball players who make it to the NBA is extremely low, estimated to be between 0.02 and 0.03%. For college players, the odds are much better, with approximately 1.2% of Division I players making it to the professional league. So they have way worse odds than us as traders. And then I thought, I'm like, it's probably going to be the same, like for the NFL, for whatever the soccer league would be called, for the NHL. Like, I think it's going to be the same for anything like that. I'm sure for also starting a business, like I'm sure the odds are probably stacked against you in that as well. I did include the YouTube one because, okay, so like I'm in this, I guess I'm in this camp here in like the top 9% of YouTubers. But we had somebody on yesterday. I can't remember his name. I want to say it was like CPN something. But he has over 100,000 subscribers. So I was hoping that he would be here today and I'd be like, hey, look, there's someone here who's in this, you know, like he's beat the odds on the YouTube thing and he's in like the top whatever percent. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and, you know, get any feedback from you guys on it. If you think that trading is, I don't want to say pointless, but like, do you feel like the odds are just so stacked against you that maybe you shouldn't be trading? I don't know. Like, should you just take your money and go and light it on fire? Obviously, I think that's I'll just say really stupid. I don't know. What do you think? Is there anything to what he was saying, or is this just someone who lost money trading and then goes forward believing that no one can ever make money trading? I gotta drink water. If you guys can hear it, again, tell me. Okay. So Mike says, trading as a profession is the most difficult job there is unless you have a real mentor. It will take the average trader much longer to become profitable. Of course, there's more to it. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's difficult. We know that it's difficult. I mean, I'm sure we didn't go into it knowing it was difficult, but now that we're doing it, we know it's not easy and that it's going to take a lot. But I think it's definitely not impossible. Aki, trading is very difficult. I was trained by a professional options trader, so I hope I have an advantage. Yeah, now I'm like seeing people talk about like mentors and training, and I'm like, oh shit. like how long is this going to take me? Just like, being like, well, I'm just going to watch what happens and kind of like figure it out on my own and, put some strategies together just based on what I see happening. But also I'm only going for like these like 30-point moves. And I think what a lot of people, when they look at it, they think like that, they're like, oh, you're not going to, you're not going to beat the big guys. You're not going to beat the institutions. And I'm always like, I'm not trying to beat them. I'm just like trying to get a tiny little piece of that move. Like I'm also, and most of us, if we're trading prop firms, like our orders don't even exist, right? Like we're all trading on these sim accounts. So the argument of like, they can see where your orders are. Well, not really, because we're not even actually in the market. Ryan says, the real problem is that most do not understand that day trading is a job. No one would try to learn brain surgery from YouTube, yet they are about the same, same difficulty. Yeah, okay, Ryan, for sure. Nobody would try to learn brain surgery from YouTube, but I will say that I can't remember what for, but my husband ordered like packets of scalpels from Amazon because it's like, oh, well, maybe we can deal with this at home and not have to like sit in the emergency room or whatever for 12 hours to get dealt with. I don't remember the exact problem. It was years ago, and I only know this because like not long ago I was cleaning something up and was like, what are these scalpels for? And then I remembered, okay, sorry, that was off topic. And yes, we wouldn't do our own surgery at home. So yeah, I think a lot of the problem when we start is I watched one YouTube video on a strategy and was like, okay, I'll make that work. And obviously that didn't pan out. David says, honestly, I feel like if I were to walk away from trading today, the biggest benefit I would have gotten out of it is knowing myself better, my strengths, my weaknesses, making me a better person. Yeah, thank you, David. That's a really good point. Yeah, even if of course we all think like we're going to keep at it and we're going to make money trading. But I have definitely said to my husband at times that it's like, well, even if I don't make it in trading, I still feel like I've improved myself as a person, and it's been a net positive for me. Like even just like with starting YouTube, because I started something else where you look at it and you're like, oh, the odds of even like getting your channel monetized to where YouTube's going to put ads on your stuff, like the odds of that are pretty slim. But because I've been trading, I just thought, well, yeah, I think I can do it. I'm going to try it out. So I think it toughens you up for other things, and it makes you more open to doing more difficult things. And you have to work on yourself as far as like your emotional awareness and everything like that. So I do think that if we work on these things, then it does make us better in other areas of our lives. So it's not like we would just not make money trading and then that would be it. Yeah. Yeah, Ty, I think that's a lot of us. Like, you like trying hard things. If you didn't like doing hard things, you'd go work a boring desk job. Um, yeah, I agree. If I wanted to do something easier, I could. But trading, obviously, I mean, you're not going to get a desk job or a job working for somebody else where, you have the crazy freedom and earning potential that you have with trading, right? Like, we can do this from anywhere in the world, and if we can, master our psychology and get our edge sorted out, then we can scale up and make a lot of money. You no longer trade stock indices. It's boring. Indices, I don't know. One voice, it makes sense. It is crazy to do something that 95% of people fail at, but you have to be a bit crazy to make it in trading. Trading isn't for everyone, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's for everyone, but also, like, I don't know. I wish there was some kind of, like, I don't want to say a test or like a personality thing or something where you could get a better idea of, like, if you have a chance or not. I don't know. But then I guess the argument to that would be you could just adjust have a different strategy based on, like, personality or based, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone but me. You can make a living trading gold daily. I have not tried to trade gold at all. As I've said in here before, my approach has just been like, I'm going to learn this one thing. And then if I get to a point where I'm really good at trading the NASDAQ and I'm like, this is boring, it's not challenging enough anymore, then I'm going to look to other instruments. I think yesterday I said maybe crypto, like maybe trade Bitcoin at some point when the NASDAQ gets too boring for me. Ryan says, so if you pulled only the ones who treat it like a job, education, and earlier work years, it would probably be more like a 30% win rate. Yes. Yeah, Ryan, that's another thing. I would love to see, even just separated out by the time spent trading, right? So, like, if we take out just like the people that quit within the first year or the first 2 years, then obviously those numbers are going to change a lot. And then if you were able to, like, filter them down by other parameters as well, like you said, treating it as a business or treating it as a job, the education, the discipline, all that, then yeah, I agree with you. And I think it would be a much higher win rate. And I think, like, maybe this is where the commenter, I'm not sure, like, if his idea of success trading is that, you're just going to be, like, extremely wealthy. Like, my idea of success trading is like $5,000-$6,000 a month, $4,000 a month, I think was great. But, like, so we have different goals. Mine is based on, like, being able to get this visa to move to Portugal. And if we were staying here, $4,000 a month on top of what my husband makes, then I'd be like, okay, that's great. So yeah, I do think that it's a reasonable goal, especially if you've been in it for a while and you're gonna put in the work that you have to. No, Mike doesn't think the 30%. He thinks it's around 5% for those who make a living trading. Mike, I think he's saying, like, out of the total traders, like out of the people that attempt it, like if you took out, like if you filtered out the ones who actually, like, take it seriously versus the ones who kind of just go in gambling for 6 months or whatever and lose money and quit. Oh, what? What trades did you take, Ryan? Were you, like, because I've been looking at this in my chart where I'm like, okay, it came to the bottom of that that area that I had marked out for longs, and I was like, oh, that looks like a nice double bottom. But again, I don't trade power hours, so I don't trust any of my judgment at all when it comes to this time of day. But you took 3 trades and you're up 3R for the day. Time to run away with the money. Yeah, 100% time to run away with the money. Hoover Flag Trader says, if you are a trader, it will be hard to quit. If you're not, you will not last long. Yeah, I'm not, like, on the quitting thing, I don't even know how, like, if you've been doing it for a long time, how you would even go about quitting. Like, I don't know. I think it would just always be like, but there's this other thing that I could try first. There's this other, I could have these other rules. There's always something I think that you would think that you could work on and get better at before quitting. Oh, Water Monster destroyed 2 combines today. Still have 3 live accounts waiting to be activated. Okay, well, at least your live accounts were not in any danger today. So that's good. But those top step combines are not super cheap. So just be careful. You don't want to be, blowing a whole bunch of those all the time, because that's what got me into a lot of trouble at the beginning of this year, was those more, like, it just seems like when you're blowing up the Apex accounts and it's only like $20 or whatever for a 25K account, like, it gives you more leeway on how many you can blow before you really start feeling it. Or you can trade Bitcoin futures if that's what you mean by trying to trade. Yeah, that is what I meant by trying to trade Bitcoin. But I'm not going to. I'm sticking with the NASDAQ. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're here. Build your CNC. I was talking about you because of this commenter that was saying that, like, basically give up trading. The odds are so stacked against you. And then yesterday we were talking about the odds of making money on YouTube, because people like to come in my comment section and be like, yeah, just stick with YouTube. It's so much easier to make money there than trading. And I've looked it up before and I'm like, no, actually it's not. So I'll get that little chart for you here and show you where you are. Okay, so build your CNC. You are here with over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I don't know, maybe you'll also make it in trading. So yeah, we were talking about you. And good job on the subscribers, because, like, I feel like I watch so many channels that have over 100,000 subscribers that you don't really sort of realize how rare it is or what an accomplishment it is compared to all the people that attempt it. So nice work on the YouTube channel. Okay, how do I hide this? All right. Oh, I don't know, I need a different. Okay, so Eric says, it's extremely difficult, 3 years trading options and overall still not profitable. I only stick with one strategy and one ticker. Even learned from a team, small account size. I'm ready to quit. No, Eric, switch to futures. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. Some people might tell you to switch to futures. Okay, I'm also 3 years not profitable. I'm 3 years and down about $36,000 at this point. So I don't know. Someone gave me this quote the other day and I really liked it. It was on a comment on a different video. It was a Winston Churchill quote. And it was, oh my God, what was it? It said, like, success is moving from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. So I don't know. I liked it. Maybe that's because I'm failing at trading. But also I just thought, like, yeah, as long as we can, like, keep our spirits up in this and stay enthusiastic and keep a mindset of, like, wanting to learn and wanting to get better at this, then I think that is success kind of on its own. But yeah, 3 years trading, not profitable. Are you just not profitable, or are you down a whole bunch of money? Like, is the you're ready to quit feeling coming from, is it coming from a place of I'm out of money for trading, or is it coming from a place of, like, mentally, emotionally, I'm just done with this, I can't do it anymore? Because I think those are different things, right? Like if it's money, then you could trade a paper account. And maybe you don't want to trade options anymore. I don't know. Like if you were, and this was my advice to somebody the other day, where it's like, if you're on the verge of quitting anyways, maybe that's the time to change things, like to try something different, to, get really strict on your discipline, or, to just like really change things up for yourself. Yeah, Mike says, don't quit trading. You made it this far. Water Monster, I can't quit, 58 years old, former IT professional, out of work for 6 years. Okay, we don't want to have the attitude of like, I can't quit, because like I remember that the Discord group that I started in, and it was mostly like, probably like I would say mostly guys in their 20s, maybe even like late teens. And I remember like, oh, okay, so I guess we're getting a bit of a bounce here. Was there earnings? Is there earnings right now? Is that what's going on? Sorry. I just want to, is this more than 100 points, but not, oh, this thing. Maybe I should get the hourly some more space over here. Is this earnings? Somebody told me there was more earnings today. Okay, sorry. I just got really sidetracked by the chart. Okay, yeah, what I was saying with like the idea of like, I can't quit, this is the only thing I can do. Like I remember a few guys in the group being like, there's nothing else for me. This is my only option. I can't do anything else. And I just think like that's probably a bad mindset. Like if you bring, I don't want to say like a desperate energy, but I think it is like you shouldn't bring a desperate energy to anything, whether it's like trading. They definitely tell people not to bring it into like dating environments, anything like that. So I don't know. I think for you, and you're not asking for my advice, but I'm going to give it anyways. Don't quit trading. I'm 100% not saying quit trading, but start looking at like different side hustles you can do. Look at other ways that you can make money online, or other things you can do to make money. Like before, during COVID, how like I started flipping furniture and made a couple $1,000s a month doing that. Like look at other skills that you have, or that like other ways that you can make money online, and start focusing on that just a little bit. Not because I think you're going to fail at trading and you're going to need that as like a backup plan, but I think if you're putting energy into that and seeing some results from somewhere else, then it might shift your energy and your sort of mindset in your trading to where you relax more about it. I don't know if that makes any sense. In Europe, you can trade 1 ounce of gold with less than 10 euros. You can start trading with only 50 euros. There's no need to bet the whole house. Okay, well, I think here with futures, you need like at least a couple $1,000s to start. But you can get an Apex account for $20 and start trading futures. Oh, this thing keeps... Sorry, guys. I'll be somewhere in the chat and I'll be looking at something and then the thing moves on me. Ty Crane is saying, Eric, try a different strategy. Yeah, if you're at the point of quitting, like there's no harm in trying other things. And for Ty here, I will mention that paper trading is also an option while you're learning something new. Yeah, Hoover Flag Trader, a trader just tries to work on it, goes on a break maybe, and then comes back to it. I don't know. I can't imagine what it would take for me to quit. Like my husband jokes that like we're going to be, you know, like in our 80s or something, sitting in our rocking chairs or laying in our like adjustable beds, and I'm going to be there like, okay, I just have to do this. I've almost got it figured out. Like, I'm going to get profitable eventually. I don't think it's going to be that bad. But like, he seems to have fully accepted that it's just like, I'm not quitting. Like, it's just trading's just going to be here. Build your CNC. This is hot. I make $300 per month. I'm not active enough. Yeah, I didn't get to check out your channel, but I think you guys said it was like electronics. I want to say electronics, but I mean, is it like a hobby, or is it something that I shouldn't get off topic on someone's YouTube channel, but I was just wondering if it's a hobby or if it's something that you built up and then sort of like lost interest in. One voice, I thought I was patient and disciplined until I started trading, LOL. Yeah, I thought I was disciplined. I've always known I'm not patient, but I thought that I was a really disciplined person, and then I started trading. It was just like, what the hell happened to me? Why can't I just follow these rules? I can follow all kinds of other like arbitrary rules that I make for myself in my life, but I can't follow these trading rules. But it has helped me to figure out what I needed to improve on. Yeah. For sure. Maybe everyone should try trading for a little while. Oh, Ryan says, sorry, strategy has changed from the last time we talked about it. I'm very patiently hyper scalping. Don't say hyper scalping to me. People say hyper scalping, and I just think it sounds so exciting. So I'm grabbing 20% stop loss and 25% TP of the range on the 1 minute NQ. Average risk is $175. Okay, that's very interesting. Ryan, I hope when we get the Discord going, because I want to have like, obviously I don't want it to be a signals group, and I want the main focus to be discipline, but I also want to have like some strategy stuff in there. So I think other traders might be interested in hearing about what you're doing with this hyper scalping. I feel like I can't hyper scalp because it just, when I've tried scalping in the past, I took it like as a license to just like jump in anywhere and everywhere to try and grab like 5 or 10 points, and it didn't work out. Also, my stops were bigger than my profit targets, and it, just wasn't good. Ty Crane, rehab counselor, don't quit, LOL. Yeah, okay, well, it's a different kind of rehab. Somebody, when I said something about a support group in the comments, they're like, so what, like AA for traders? So you're gonna try to get them to quit trading? And I said, no, maybe I should have said like, it's more like Overeaters Anonymous, where you still have to keep eating, but you just have to change the way that you're eating and your behaviors around it. But then like my husband said, he's like, is Overeaters Anonymous even a thing? So like, it's not recognizable like AA, but it is a real thing. I've heard people talking about it on the internet, like going to meetings and stuff. So you guys are talking about, okay, yeah. Okay, more encouragement on don't give up. Guys, what if this person should have been quitting, but then they come in here thinking like this Degen rehab is gonna, encourage me to quit, and then instead we're all like, no, don't do that, keep trading. But 3 years is a lot of time to put into it to then walk away. Echoes of Grace says, I believe that most strategies are not the problem. It's the discipline that gets the 90% of traders that fail. I think people spend too much time trying to perfect their strategy and not the mindset. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, because and it was my circle of shame there, or humiliation, whatever you want to call it. That was the realization for me, was that I would blow up, I would lose a bunch of accounts, and then I would go back and back test, and it would be like, what happened? Because if I traded my strategy today, I would have made money, or I would have had a small red day, but instead I've lost, 8 accounts. So then it was definitely like, my problem is tilt. My problem is discipline. It's not actually the strategy. I think we want to perfect our strategies. I always want to find ways to make my strategies better. But yeah, I think that if we put more emphasis on the discipline in the beginning and like getting that sort of locked down before we get into trading real money, then we'd lose less for sure. Okay, so Eric says sorry guys, I don't know how behind I am in the chat here. This is why my videos need to have like a strict, like, sort of like script outline, and it's like you can't go more than a minute past this or else your videos are going to be too long. So Eric says, just not profitable, only down a couple thousand, and the mental health calories spent trading is just so much. Okay, Eric, so what is going on then? Like, are you, because only down a couple thousand in 3 years, I think you're doing really well. Are you just really, yesterday we were talking a lot, Kid Poker's not here today. I think maybe he didn't like being the focus of the whole stream yesterday. But like with him and with myself and probably a lot of us, like a big problem is like trying to get there faster, trying to rush things. So it's like, is it strategy or is it discipline? Because if it's like you haven't lost a lot of money, but if it's the mental health thing, like the emotional, mental toll, then to me that seems like you're breaking your rules and you're maybe like going on tilt. Because I don't know if or the strategy sucks, or you're trying to trade a bad strategy that's just losing. But I would, if somebody who's a professional taught you the strategy, then I would lean more towards that you need more rules around discipline, and maybe you're over trading, and maybe you're just trying to force it and rush it, and maybe you're focusing on the money too much. Like maybe because it's hard to do something for 3 years and be like, I've made nothing, I've only lost money at it. But maybe you are focusing too much on the money and where you thought you should have been versus where you are. I don't know. You can let me know if any of that sounds accurate or reasonable to you. Like, what do you think that your problem is in your trading? Like, have you identified your main problem? Like, is there one kind of stumbling block that you have? For me, it was tilt. Like, for me, it was things are going good, and then I take a couple losses and I completely lose it and I blow up and I set myself back, weeks or months worth of progress. So like, is that happening, or it's just like your strategy isn't working? I'm curious. Tigrade says, Eric, I want you to win. We all want you to win. And I think we all want each other to win. That's what I've found with these YouTube videos. Like when people ask me questions, I'm always like, I give them, they don't even ask me questions. They might just say stuff and then they get advice anyways. But I always am like, I want them to win. I want them to do well. So yeah, I think we're all kind of like rooting for each other to do well. Lots of earnings. Yep. I'm glad someone told me that yesterday, because I am so like locked out of like social media or like other traders' live streams. I do miss things like earnings coming up, just because, I don't know, I'm just not paying enough attention, I guess. Okay, so Build Your CNC is giving some options advice to Eric, so that's good. Yours it says, rather than blowing big accounts, try to grow a very small account with small daily gains. I would agree with that, but with a very small account, it's difficult because, I think small account, you need at least a few $1,000s. If you're trading futures, I don't know. Options, it could be less. Options, you could probably get away with a smaller account than futures. So I take that back. Okay, we got some more information. I feel like I'm so behind everybody on this, but I got some more information from Eric. You scalp Okay, I scalp in and out very quick. So today I sold puts and got stopped out because of large retracement. Okay. I don't have any advice for that. But Eric, is it the strategy that's the problem, or is it you not sticking to the strategy that's the problem? That's sort of like the main thing that I want to figure out. Okay, so yeah, more about the earnings. Guys, I've completely lost where the heck I was in the chat. But this is very nice, you guys. I feel like now today, yesterday, everyone was focused on giving Kid Poker advice and helping him out. And I like that today everyone is helping Eric, because you might not have, like, Eric, you might not have had many people or any people up to this point like encouraging you to keep going with your trading or trying to give you like helpful advice. So this is good. Okay. Yeah, paper trading's not that gay. Are you telling him to paper trade? You and the paper trading. But yeah, it's not that gay. Definitely paper trade instead of quitting. Oh, Mr. Herman says, something that helped me a lot is backtesting. Yes. Yeah, backtesting is obviously very important. For me, I would backtest and be like, this is the strategy. And then I'd, go forth with the strategy. And then, I'd have that tilt day and blow up. Or I'd have a few bad weeks of just like not following rules and tilt, and then be like, this strategy sucks. But then I'd go back and backtest and be like, the results of just following the strategy versus the results that I have are dramatically different. Coho Salmon, if you never traded futures before, always use a prop firm, never your own money. Yeah, I mean, I wish that I had gone with that approach when I got into it. Oh, that's nice. This is a great group to be around. Glad I joined. Yeah. Eric, I think we all do understand, because if you've been trading for any amount of time, then it's like you have gone through these things and you fully understand when somebody else is going through it. So I'm glad you found it as well. Be careful, you will get addicted to hyper scalping. I'm not trying it, because like to me it just feels like hyper scalping just seems, it sounds exciting, and like it just sounds like something I want to do. Like I want to take like 1,000 trades in a day, just so yeah, I know that I can't do it. Back to build your CNC. Sorry guys if this is so all over the place. The channel started out as a hobby but turned into a business where I sell products. That side of the business has done well. Okay, well, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, a lot of YouTubers don't make their money on just on the ads. They make it on, like in trading, it's a lot of like selling courses and of course the affiliate links, which I feel like I cut off my affiliate link today, so whoops. But if anyone's looking for a prop firm, I have a Take Profit Trader link and code. So Yesra asks me, are CFDs allowed for you? What do you mean? Are they allowed for, like, are they allowed in my country? I would assume so, but like, am I personally, I don't know. For me, I'm just focused on the one thing. Like, I don't want to change up what I'm doing too much. Yes, okay, right. So with the hyper scalping, you're saying there's a method to it and you can't just get in anywhere. It just looks that way. For sure. I just know that like I tried scalping in the past and it was a disaster because there were no rules around it. And I had like, I combined that also with like watching Elle Brooks's course, and Elle Brooks is always like, says like, whoa, this would be a reasonable long, or this looks like a reasonable short, and being like a really shitty trader and wanting to scalp, then I just went at the market and like constantly was like, yep, reasonable, reasonable long, reasonable, and just like kept jumping into these reasonable but not actually reasonable trades. Will asks, have you tried listening to calming music while you trade? If that's directed at me, no, I have not. I trade in silence, or else it's basically just silence now. I might put on like a podcast or something that's unrelated to trading, but mostly it's just nothing. I used to listen to Top Step TV and other traders, and that was a disaster. So if you do that, I would really encourage you not to. And if you don't do it, don't start. Oh, okay. So Eric says his problem is he needs to stick to his rules and not overtrade. Yes, and I rush it. Okay. Well, I think that's good. So you don't have to like fully start over on your strategy. You need to really look at where you're going wrong and your rules, and then make your rules based around that. So I don't know if you're totally new here. So my rules are, and you'll have different rules obviously, but mine are that I can only take one trade a day, and then I'm supposed to shut it down, just set my stop and my target, shut it down, not watch the trade play out, and check it later. And then obviously valid setups only. I can't just take random trades and be like, well, that's my one trade for the day. I'm just going to hope it works out. And that came about just because for me, even taking one loss sometimes could get me into a quick revenge trade, and then another revenge trade, and then tilt, and at least one blown prop account, if not multiple blown accounts. So those are my rules. If you don't have your discipline rules already, I would really encourage you to figure out your worst problem, the thing that sort of sets you off first, and then start making rules to address that. And if you are following those rules, but then you keep having problems, then you need to change the rules again and probably make them stricter. Okay, that's interesting. Yes, Russ says, I have an interesting strategy. Currently, I'm working on growing an account from $50 to $1,000 with fixed daily gains. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Obviously, like growing a small account. Build your CNC. I like this. The mental aspect can also give you nerves of steel. I think so. And I don't think people, when we're sort of going through this, like you can think like trading's just cost me money and the emotional toll is a lot. But on the other side, I do think that it definitely makes you more resilient. It makes you more able to take on other challenging things. And yeah, it does make you calmer in other tense situations. So good point for sure. Chris, my trigger is very obvious and exact. In the past, my triggers were less optically obvious. For me, an obvious trigger has made it easier to be patient and disciplined. That's good. Yeah, I think just like the main key, if you're slipping up on your discipline, is knowing exactly where you slip up, because then you can obviously make rules around that and fix it. And just the awareness, just being aware of like, this is the thing. So for me, it's like, a bad one for me was if I would miss my trade, or I would be too scared to take it and I'd watch it win without me, then I'd just be pissed. Like I'd be so mad and I would just jump into some random trade just out of anger. So for me, like a big one is just being aware that if I'm sitting at the desk watching the charts and I'm angry, then probably I shouldn't trade that day, because if I can't go and resolve it within like 5 minutes, then that's it. Okay, Eric, so you just went on tilt, had about 2 weeks of profitability, and this weekend, okay, but as annoying as this is gonna sound to you, I think that's a good thing. Because you can stop going on tilt. I used to go on tilt all the time and I'd blow a ton of accounts. My last tilt day, I would say, would have been last Friday. I took, I think, 4 or 5 trades instead of one, and I lost $180 instead of like what my small loss days should be, no more than like 80. So you can stop going on tilt. You can make it happen less often. And if you really work on the discipline, you can make the tilt days themselves smaller to where it's actually just a small loss day instead of a blown account or setting you back weeks. So you definitely can work on that. Just figure out where it goes wrong in the first place and then make rules to just cut yourself off there. Because obviously, if you went on tilt today, you know that you would have been better off just not trading at all today, right? Like if some small thing happened this morning that set you off, you would have been better to just cut it off right there and be done rather than losing the past 2 weeks. So I'd encourage you to really figure that out and do some work on figuring out where you go on tilt. I have lost the chat again. Electrician, if I were to make just one trade a day, I would increase my time frame to maybe 30 minutes. Like 30 minutes per trade, or I don't understand. I would increase my time frame, or like you would switch to the 30-minute chart so that you're getting a bigger trade. I think that's what you mean. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay with my one trade and the average winner being between 30 to 45 points on the NASDAQ, because if I can be consistent with that, I can scale that up, right? So 30 points a day, fine. If you can consistently get 10 points a day, great, you can scale that up. It's just the consistency and being able to trust yourself to follow those rules. One voice, that's it for me, trying to rush it. I have a top step practice account that I've been trading for 3 months, same strategy, and my metrics are really good. Yet I can't keep a funded account for long. That's what it is. You're focusing on the P&L, you're focusing on the money, and you're like, for me, it was I would always go into a funded account and then I'd pull up my calendar on my phone and I'd start calculating, okay, if I can make this much a day, then I can get a payout by this day. If I make this much, my payout can be that much. And then I would obviously just lose the account right away because I wasn't looking for my setups so much as just trying to get to that payout. So yeah, I would encourage you to make some goals around making yourself slow down. And I am working on a video for tomorrow, and it actually is about rushing it, because we talked about that so much yesterday that I was like, I want to do something on this that sort of more people will see than the live streams. Love in our life. I've heard when trading gets boring, that is when you have made it. Not moving, stop. One trade a day, letting winners run. Does trading ever get boring? I know people say that, but I feel like if it got boring, then you would just increase your size and it would now be a little more exciting. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. If it gets boring, then I'm gonna probably switch to something that's a little more volatile. Yeah, VP for sure. The worst thing you could do is watch someone else's live stream. It takes away from your strategy. Yeah, I can't believe how long I did that. I feel really stupid for how long I did that, and I knew it was bad for me and I kept doing it, and then I kept losing, and I'd have these really bad days where it's if I hadn't been listening to that stream, I would have taken my own trade and I wouldn't have ended up on tilt. But sometimes it just takes a long time to learn the same thing. Over flag trader, rising wedge on the MNQ. I'm not even gonna look at this because I said I wasn't gonna look at it, and now I'm looking at it. I'm way outside my trading window. No trades for me. Oh, Eric, this is the first time you've had any encouragement. Honestly, that made such a big difference. Nobody ever in 3 years told me to keep trading. All I heard was you should quit trading. Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you putting yourself through this? And then of course the money. And then I started I guess this is more earnings right now. And then I started the YouTube channel, and that was literally the first time that anyone was like, keep going, you can do this. And then I realized like, oh, I've never had any outside encouragement on trading. Amazon reports cloud computing unit grew faster than expected. The shares jumped about 10% in extended trading. Okay, thank you for letting me know what's been going on here. Mike says, I don't see why having losses is bad or a negative thing. In fact, it's a good way to learn about yourself, your mistake, and your trading plan. This is why risk management is so important. Well, yes, Mike, of course. But I just think like in real time, and when I think it's hard when you haven't actually been able to stick to your strategy for any amount of time. Like for me, I didn't know, or I hadn't experienced what the win rate actually was in practice. So now that I've done this, and it's like, okay, it's about a 60% win rate. I'm expecting to lose 2 days of the week. Like I'm expecting 2 red days a week, and I'm not gonna like, I try to think of like nicer ways to say things without like swearing, but I can't think of one. But yeah, I'm okay now knowing that I'm gonna have, or I should typically have about 2 red days a week. Alternative to paper trading. Trade very small if you need that psychology of money in the game. That's the thing for me. I can't do paper trading. I had to have some kind of, like, I just couldn't take it seriously at all. So I had to have like even just like a small Apex eval or something where there's some actual money attached. I think CFD are banned in the US. Well, I'm in Canada, so I don't know. Maybe it's okay here. I oversized because I can't accept small win. Doesn't seem enough or takes too long. Oh, DigiCap. These names are difficult sometimes. Yeah, when I started in futures, I started in that signals group, and I started with a $50,000 personal account, and I was trading a mini. In my first week, I made $8,000. So for me, and now today I made $30, and I'm like, okay, fine. But yeah, it's hard to sort of accept the small winning days because it feels like it's going to take forever. But what I have, if you're losing money, then I think you got to put the idea of like small wins kind of out of your head because you're still losing money. So first you want to get to break even. For me, doing this, just getting to break even and not having to buy new prop accounts, like just being in the same account for like 3 or 4 months now, felt like I was making money. So just not having that on my credit card, and then also getting, the $500 or whatever in payouts, then it was really like, okay, I can see how this can add up. It's not a living wage. It's, not where I want my, it's not the end goal for my trading, but I think you need to be able to accept those small wins. Like to me before, and even like after I lost lots of money in that signals group, then I was like, okay, I'm going to have to slowly make my money back. But it felt like any day that I made less than $500, like I didn't walk away happy with a $350 day. Like to me, I had this mental block of like, if it's less than $500, it's trash. It's not worth my time. Like it's a bad attitude. And I think just try to work on that for yourself. It will take a long time, but it might actually add up more and sooner than you realize if you become more patient and accepting of those smaller wins. Ryan says he would be happy to share all strategies in the Discord. Oh, I'm just saying, like, if there's other people that are like into hyper scalping, then it would be like, I think it would be, I don't want the Discord to be all about like strategies and then get people strategy hopping and trying too many different things. But yeah, I think it would be great to have people sharing strategies. So I'm going to do different rooms also in there for the strategies, because I know like some people trade, like price action more. There's ICT traders. So I think I'll break the rooms up that way, so that if you're interested in ICT, then there's an ICT room where you can talk to other ICT traders. Like I'm never going to be in there because I don't know anything about it. But then you can talk to people who have similar trading styles to you. Am I supposed to tell people to hit the like button? Is that build your CNC? I don't know why though. Like I guess it's good for YouTube engagement. But like, cause yeah, I on other like live streams, they're always like hit the like button, and I'm like, what does that do? Why? I guess it's YouTube engagement. So then more people will get the stream. Al Brooks is a candlestick patterns trader, isn't he? Do you have a favorite pattern of his? No, I don't follow too much. Like I didn't take a specific pattern from him. I just now when I'm trading, like I definitely pay attention to like double bottoms, double tops. And I think like my strategy it's like a little 3-bar reversal sort of down to the MA and then trend continuation. I think that's like would be like Al Brooks, like high 1 or high 2 or something. So I definitely took stuff from him, but I don't have like a specific pattern of his that I'm looking for. My strategies were all developed out of things that I was doing that I kept losing at. And then I was like, I'll just, figure out a way to flip this around. So basically I'm doing the opposite of what I was doing. Maybe that's a dumb way to make strategies, but that's how I did it. Oh, she's correct. Elite traders are bored. Good trading is boring. Excited traders, that is gambling mindset. Well, I don't need to be elite. Like, I don't ever think I'm going to be an elite trader, but, I just want to make a reasonable amount of money. Like, I'm not like, my husband better not hear this, but like, I don't care. I'm not like, I need to get rich. Like, that's not the goal. The goal is just that, just to make enough money that if we want to live in a different country, then we can go and do that kind of thing. If the Discord is free, expect scammers. The Discord is not going to be free. I would have liked the Discord to be free, but I want it to have I want it to be really discipline focused, and I want it to have like really good features in it. So it's not just going to be like, here's the Discord, here's these rooms. I want it to actually have so I want everyone to be able to like, before they even get into it, they have to like fill out sort of like their rules and what they're working on. And then that goes into something where everyone can see it. And then I also want it to like automatically track everyone's like discipline wins and streaks, and then like we can have a leaderboard, but it's entirely focused on discipline, so we're not coming in there so people aren't coming in there to brag and be like, I made $10,000 today, and make everyone else feel like shit. Like, you could have lost your trade, but you followed your plan, and so then you get a win on the board. So I'm just trying to make it like all about the discipline focus. And then as I mentioned the other day, I want to have like the sort of like emergency tilt feature, where if someone is like going on tilt or they're having a really hard time, they can come into a room and I'll just like jump on a quick like voice chat with them, because I think it would actually help to to get away from your computer and like actually speak to someone in real time about like what you're struggling with and like what you're trying to get away from. So yeah, the Discord's not going to be free, but it's not going to be like expensive either. I want it to be reasonable, but I also want like people who are serious about their discipline. And I think if it's paid, then it's more likely, like I want people to come and every day say how they did in there. The Discord you're in is $30 a month. Well, it will not be that much. It will be less than $30 a month. Unless it got lots of people, then I would make it more expensive for people after, but initially it's definitely not going to be that much. I want people to be able to use it, but yeah, I don't want a lot of, like, I think having it paid eliminates like the scammers and bots a lot. So we'll be working on that soon. Okay, is there anything I missed here? Jobs being delocalized abroad and AI is replacing humans. Yeah. Oh God. Why would you? I'm trying to like get off of here. I'm supposed to go and make bread, and if I don't get to it pretty soon, then dinner's gonna be late. But trading is the only solution left. It's an asset, an unbelievable skill, an unvaluable skill. But then my husband's like, well, AI is gonna take over trading too, and I'm like, but I don't know. I refuse to hear that. Like, I will accept that AI is going to take over like every single other job. But yeah, when he says it's going to take away trading, I'm just like, nope. Like, it can't take away trading. I'm like, maybe then like the human traders would find a way to like make their own trading where AI is banned so that we could keep trading. Like, I don't think that all the human traders are just going to accept that they can't do it anymore. I don't know why you would get me on the AI thing. Oh, Eric, one last question. When you have a big loss, what are some of the things you do? I close charts and take a couple days off to get back to baseline. What do I do when I take a big loss? I usually just like feel like shit, and I usually back test. I feel bad for a little while, and then I go to like, okay, what actually went wrong? Was it the strategy, or was it my behavior and my discipline? Build your CNC. Yeah, I am. Yeah, okay, so when I have a really bad loss, I've never taken like days off, but lots of times my bad losses happen on a Friday, so I'm forced to have 2 days off after. I think it's a reasonable idea to take a little bit of time off. The other thing you could do, who asked me that? Was that Eric? Okay. Yeah. Okay. What do I do when I have a bad loss? Do you guys have anything to add for like what you do when you have a bad loss? I just kind of like feel sorry for myself for a short amount of time. I feel awful about myself. And I kind of like just dwell on that for a few hours. You know what usually snaps me out of it is when I've had a bad loss and then like I'm feeling depressed about it, then my husband will come home and he knows because he can tell by my energy. But then like I'll tell him that I had a bad loss or whatever happened, and then he says, well, it's time to quit. Like, just, quit trading already. Like, you're done. It doesn't work. Give up. And then when he tells me to quit, then I might sit with that for like a minute, and then I go to the charts. And then I start backtesting and like actually like manually go through and like write down like where the strategies were, what I should have done, and what the outcome of the day should have been. And then it's, mope around for a while. And then it's like, then I realize like, oh, it's the tilt problem. So then it comes back to the discipline rules and the psychology stuff. So, yeah, I think when you have a bad day, you can feel bad for a little while, but then you got to get back to like, how can I fix this? What can I learn from this? Where did I go off track? And then make a better plan, stricter rules for the next day, and make discipline-based goals. If you're new here, like I talk about this all the time in switching your goals from monetary goals to patience and discipline-based goals. So have the goal of keeping your account longer, have the goal of spending less money on prop firms, and then have like, so my winning days are like, did I wait for a valid setup? Did I take it without hesitation? Did I put my stop and TP in the right place? And did I walk away and just accept that the outcome is going to be the outcome? So my winning day has nothing to do with actually whether the trade wins or loses. It's just the discipline stuff. Co-host Salmon says, AI is not taking over anything in trading. Algos have been run. Yeah, and this is what I've told my husband. I'm like, there's already algos in trading. Like, we're already trading with AI. Retail traders only make up 15 to 20% of the US markets. Okay. Ron says, suck it up, figure out what stupid thing I did, then try not to do it again. Never works though. I do stupid crap every day and I just sit back and watch myself do it. Ron, sounds like you got to come back on Monday and we'll make the whole stream about you. Yeah, today I feel like we focused on Eric a lot, and yesterday we focused on Kid Poker, who didn't come back, so maybe people don't like having the stream entirely focused on them and their trading issues. But Ron, I am supposed to get off of here right away. I can hear my husband's home. But I would like for you to come back on Monday, or else in the comments on this video, tell me what sort of like what the patterns are, like what the typical stupid thing is that you did, like, because there's usually the same thing that's kind of like tripping us up all the time. Yeah, Ron, no guys, I'm not on tomorrow. I'm not on Fridays. I put out like a filmed video on Fridays or Saturdays. Yeah, Monday. No live stream on Fridays. My husband will not be impressed with me if I'm live streaming every day of the week. And his dinner gets delayed like it is right now. So I'm going to hear about this. Yeah, so Ron, I would like for you to come back on Monday. It starts at the beginning of Power Hour, unless I'm late like I was today, but I won't be again. So come back 3 p.m. Eastern, or, some time in there, and you can tell us sort of what your main issues are, and then we'll all kind of work on it with you, and then you can work on your plan and kind of go away with some extra things. Also, we were talking about the Discord. I am starting a Discord for like the discipline stuff, so there's going to be that option soon as well. Change your mindset, trade and risk small amounts, then you size up with earned money, not your money. I like that. Yeah, I think like the changing the mindset thing is obviously the hardest part of it. I think that like changing the mindset, for me, I had to do the rules first, and like the forcing the rules on myself, then slowly changed the mindset. So I don't know if that helps at all. Ron says, I actually do all right with my trading. I may do stupid, but I actually manage my risk pretty well. Okay, well, that's great. Risk management is obviously huge. It took me forever to figure that out. But yeah, okay, so that's good. Then it sounds like you might just have like a few little things that you need to work on. I don't know. You can also still have your intervention on Monday if you want. If somebody else feels that they need an intervention on Monday, then they can just come in and let me know. I'm always happy to do that. VB says you need to be documenting your losses with screenshots. Make sure you make notes as to why you entered, etc. You can look back at your losses and refine your trade. Yep, that's really good advice. Yeah, I have to, like, on today's, I should have taken my first setup, but I was being too picky or scared or whatever, and I didn't take it, so I should mark that out. Brother Free, I'm just arriving. You're just arriving. I am supposed to be out of here 20 minutes ago. Today was a great day. How did you do? Well, I'm glad that you had a great day. My day was sort of annoying in that I took my trade and I was too slow to move my profit target. So my bracket order came on with the 15-point profit target, and it hit within seconds before I could move it. So I just took a 15-point winning day, and that was it for me because that was the one trade. But I'm glad that you had a good day. That's awesome. Don't most record the screen for the entire session? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like for your trading, are you saying like don't most people record their screen for their entire trading session? I think it's a good idea to do that for sure. It's good to be able to watch it back. But now that I have to close the platform as soon as I put the trade on, I can't. I can only see my entry on replay. Yeah. Yes, Ron, I'm going to be going right away too. Ron says, greed is my biggest problem. Need to take profits at my targets. Oh. Okay, well, Ron, I feel like VP OBS Studio is free. It's what I'm using for streaming, and I use it to record my screen. And it works on Mac or PC. So OBS Studio. Okay, sorry. Ron and the greed thing. That seems like a better problem than a lot of people, because a lot of people have the issue of moving stops or not being able to hold for their full target. Like a lot of people find their issue is that they're bailing on their winners too soon and they're not holding for the full target. So your problem is that you have a profit target that goes with your strategy, and then the trade is on and you think it looks better, and then you move for a bigger profit target. Well, you could take partials, maybe. Like have your first target half the position and then your second target as the other half of the position. I don't know. And then that kind of satisfies. And then once your first target gets hit, move your stop to break even. That could work. Or just make your goal, your discipline goal, around just setting your profit target and letting it hit and not moving it. I'm not sure. But I feel like that's a good problem to have. Okay, guys, I got to get out of here today. I am late on dinner now. But yeah, okay. We're a bit late. Yes, again, OBS has the screen recording for free. Okay, yes, I won't be here tomorrow, but I'll be back on Monday live streaming so we can check in on the discipline. And basically, I'm going to be working on that Discord so I can get it up next week for us, for anyone who's really wanting to work on discipline and rules and wants to kind of have like a more community-based, fun kind of way of tracking it and getting that accountability and support from other people, because it's nice to have other people encouraging you to keep going on your trading and work on your rules. Okay, so thanks everyone, and I will see you back on Monday. Okay, everyone have a good night. Futures floor, I do trade it. I don't trade. I live stream every afternoon. So it's, yeah, sorry, I'm just closing stuff down here and I saw that. But yeah, so every day I start at power hour and then go a bit beyond the close. Today was a bit more than a bit beyond the close. But yeah, so I'll be back Monday. So if you can make it for the live stream, then that would be great. Okay, you guys all have a great weekend.